Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of this Link bracelet. This is for an Apple Watch. It's a Link bracelet. It's basically a copy of the Apple Watch Link bracelet, but at a much lower cost. This was about $70 on Amazon. The actual Apple Link bracelet is like $500 plus. It's just insanely expensive. But if you look at high-end watches, the bracelets are often very expensive. You know, a Rolex bracelet is going to be several $1,000s for just the bracelet. And of course, an Omega, the same thing. So these bracelets can be expensive. And I've seen several reviews comparing this knockoff bracelet, if you will, to the actual Apple bracelet. And some of the reviewers said it's very, very close in quality. I do not have the Apple bracelet to do a side-by-side comparison, but I can tell you that this is a pretty daggone good bracelet. But I will also tell you that it's kind of thin, it's kind of fine. It's not as heavy duty as like a Rolex steel bracelet would be, or an Omega steel bracelet, but it seems like it will hold up fine. I mean, time will tell. And the way the clasp is designed, I don't think it's going to accidentally come undone, even though it doesn't have like a flip lock on it like some of the Rolexes have and all, where they have like an extra safety so they will not come undone. This doesn't seem like it's going to accidentally come undone once the bracelet is closed. And I've adjusted mine, so I took 3 links out of each side to get it down to, my wrist is 7.5 inches, but it's a little bit tight. I might put one of the links back in, but it's kind of humid today, so as it cools off in the fall, it'll probably loosen up, so I might just leave it on the tight side for now and see what happens. But it is easy enough to pull links in and out. You just push that button you can see there in the middle of the link, and you can wiggle it and kind of pull the link loose, and you can take links in and out fairly easily. And then to slide it onto the watch, you have to get it at kind of the right angle, and then it kind of slides right on. But it is nice and snug. It fits just as well as I had the rubber bracelet on it to start with, and you're going to see here where I'm going to put it on the watch here in a minute. But this fits just as well onto the case of the watch as the actual sport rubber band that I got from Apple. So they did a good job on that. And again, the clasp seems to work fine. The spacing between the links seems pretty consistent. I had one reviewer kind of ding it, saying that they were not consistent, but these seem pretty daggone consistent to me. But again, I don't have an actual Apple Link bracelet to compare it to side by side. I will tell you, when you bend it around your wrist, depending on the amount that it's bent, the spacing between the links can look a little different, because depending on how much you bend the band or flex the bracelet, it makes it look like there might be more spacing between one link versus the other. But that's not really a fault of the bracelet. That's just the contour of your wrist and what it's going to look like on there. But you'd really have to be nitpicking to, I think, have an issue with the spacing of the bracelet links. So all in all, I would say that this company did a pretty daggone good job with this bracelet, and considering the price point compared to the actual bracelet from Apple. And they say it is 316L stainless steel, which is basically the same stainless steel. So I'll take their word for that. And time will tell how well it holds up as far as any kind of scratches, but it is brushed, has a brushed finish on it, so that should hide scratches pretty well. And I'm looking at it right now. It does, it does complement the watch very nicely. Even though the watch is like a shinier, it's not brushed, the band is brushed, it still blends nicely and looks like it's made and designed for the watch. So I have to give a thumbs up on this one. And again, what I did, it comes with plenty of extra links, in my opinion. I took off 3 links from each side in order to size it down to a 7.5 inch wrist. So most people are probably going to be fine. There's going to be plenty of links in here, even if you have a relatively large wrist. So, and I did see one reviewer who had a significantly smaller wrist, that the watch, the band, it really didn't seem to work real well on a smaller wrist. I would say that if your wrist is much smaller than mine, mine's 7.5 inches. If it's much smaller than that, then you might want to stick with the rubber bracelet, or go to the smaller watch size, the 38 millimeter watch size. This is the 42 millimeter. So, But that's personal preference. But you can see there, I've got it fairly snug, and it's on my wrist right now, and it feels comfortable, but it's a little bit on the snug side. But again, we're going to go from the humid time of the year to not so humid, and that tends to loosen up the watches. So, you know, I'll play around with it and see if I'm going to add a link or not. But let me know, have you bought one of these, or what bracelet are you using on your Apple Watch? Hey, and please subscribe to my channel.